people are always in my fucking business, worried about what I'm doing, what Floyd is doing, what Floyd ain't doing, what I do got, what I don't got. Just know, I'm gonna stay in my lane. I ain't gonna fuck with nobody, and I don't want nobody fucking with me. If I go on vacation, my fault.
When you come home, I'm gonna put you in a better position. Because for you to go Rick Ross, that's a slap in the face.
So Floyd Mayweather just sent some warning shots to Charleston White, advising him to back off of this big Meech drama or face some real consequences. But Charleston isn't backing down, refusing to be bullied for speaking his mind. Charleston has been doing multiple interviews since he got out of jail, and in one of those interviews, he dropped his 2 cents about the Big Meech 50 Cent situation, although Charleston admitted that there is no proof that Big Meech snitched on anybody. He also said that 50 Cent was right to crash out because Big Meech and his son betrayed him by linking up with his ops. However, one of the ops in question, aka Floyd Mayweather, was not a fan of Charleston's comments, and he's decided that if he ever runs into Charleston, it's on sight. So is Floyd Mayweather really trying to help Big Meech and his family get back on their feet? Or is he in this to mess with 50 Cent? Sit tight, because we're about to spill every bit of this tea.
This be a perfect example on you gotta be very careful on who you bring in and who you put on. That's little Meech right there. And if you don't know, he's the son of Big Meech. And if you don't know who that is, well, Big Meech was one of the biggest drug dealers in Detroit, blah, 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 blah. Anyways, long story short, he went in jail. He came out of jail and he started linking up with 50 Cent's ops. Now, bear in mind, 50 Cent made BMF and put Little Meech on BMF without any acting.
The Big Me drama is currently boiling over and bringing down nearly everyone. Floyd Mayweather and Charleston White are the most recent to be drawn into the drama. And believe me, it's as messy as they come. In a recent interview, Charleston offered his thoughts on the ongoing feud between 50 Cent and Big Meech, Lil Meech, and he dropped some quite unexpected bombshells. He criticized those who claimed that Big Meech used Tammy Count to set up Cuffy and others, saying that people should do their research before making such claims. He began by stating that he doesn't really believe 50 Cent claims that Big Meech is a snitch because he hasn't seen any documentation proving it.
You do your research, you find out that there's no paperwork on Big Meech. So if you don't do your research, you find out that there's no paperwork on Big Meech. That's why you hadn't seen no paperwork. It's all hearsay. Somebody saying he told, or somebody saying he used Tammy Cowens to set up Cuffy. Well, when you do your research and you look at the court documents that's on Big Meech, you see that Tammy Cowens took the stand and said that she did this on her own accord without Big Meech's knowledge.
Charleston then went on to take sides with 50 Cent and put Big Meech and his son on blast. He said he doesn't blame 50 for crashing out the way he did because 50 had Big Meech's back when nobody else did. Not even Rick Ross. 50 got Minnie cleaned up, sent him to acting school, which he paid for, and then put him in a series that put millions of dollars in his pockets while Big Meech was in jail. 50 basically stepped up and became a father figure to Lil Meech. According to Charleston, anyone would be mad if they did what 50 did for someone only for that person to go and link up with their enemies. He called Big Meech linking up with Rick Ross a slap in the face, saying he and his son deserve anything 50 throws at them as revenge.
Get it from 50 position. I go get your son. And at the time when I meet your son, he's not making the best decisions in life. You know, they say the was strung out on them perks, and they like to pop them perks. 50 take him somewhat, I wouldn't say clean him up, but spend 2 years in acting classes that 50 paid for. It was hard finding somebody to play the role of Big Meech, so we picked your son. 50, according to 50, he's put over $5 million into the pockets of Lil Meech and the family's, financial over $5 million. He's helped them make. It'll blew your son up, and we bring you back to life. Prior to the BMF series, Big Meech was buried alive. Wasn't nobody saying his name. Jeezy wasn't really shouting him out no more. He was buried alive. So 50 bring life back to him, put his son in a position, turn his son into a millionaire, and he actually turned out to be a pretty good actor. You come home, I'm gonna put you in a better position. For you to go fuck Rick Ross, that's a slap in the face.
When Big Meech teamed up with Rick Ross to get money for his release, the whole combustible drama began. However, 50 Cent claims that if Lil Meech hadn't wasted all of the money he had in his pocket, none of this would have occurred. The situation became much more serious when 50 revealed Big Meech to be a snitch because they felt deceived. Lil Meech challenged 50 Cent in the direct messages after learning of it, telling him that he was the one who had first introduced him to Big Meech. Startled and offended, he said, "Now you're upset with me after I introduced him to you when you had no idea who he was. For you, I would remove the shirt from my back. I've just been faithful and kind to you. Even though I'm a human and have my own problems, I've never betrayed you. They informed me that you are now managing Skillababby after unfollowing me on Instagram. However, Rick Ross gave my dad enough cash to pay for his bills until our next move." Lil Meech was obviously attempting to mend fences, but 50 Cent wasn't buying it. He made the ultimate power move by canceling the BMF series and severing Lil Meech's financial support, refusing to back down. Social media went berserk as the upcoming season of BMF drew near. While some felt Lil Meech did the right thing by apologizing, others thought he should have stood up to 50 for disrespecting his father. The internet was split.
I was like, damn, seemed like him and 50 got a, because after that thing came out, how Meech was talking all, no, oh y'all, I'm with my dad, but I ain't like his response, but it seemed like he got a genuine love for 50 Cent on him, and from when I was reading it, seemed like he caught in the middle, but he caught in the middle. That's what it seemed like for me reading it, but I'd have been like,
right, because your father.
My daddy.
Unquestionably, 50 Cent suffered a significant financial setback when he decided to cut off Lil Meech. Ultimately, 50 was the one who initially put him on. Big Meech and Lil Meech drew the battle lines by approaching 50's greatest adversaries, defying expectations that they would attempt to resolve the conflict and prolong the BMF series. Floyd Mayweather, who has a significant relationship with 50 Cent, has been seen hanging out with Lil Meech on a regular basis. Big Meech and Lil Meech have made it apparent where their allegiance currently lays by sharing numerous photos of themselves with Floyd Mayweather and Rick Ross in recent weeks. When Lil Meech posted a number of pictures of himself and Floyd Mayweather having a blast at Miami's Lucky Strike bowling alley, it was one of the biggest power moves. Then another post appeared, this time showing Floyd, Big Meech, and Lil Meech together in an unidentified place. The actual slap in the face, though, real power, is the caption for a video showing Lil Meech and Floyd sitting courtside at a Lakers game. That was plenty to demonstrate that this was a direct jab at 50 Cent and not just a casual hangout. It's hard to claim that this wasn't deliberate at this point. As everyone is aware, 50 Cent and Rick Ross have been embroiled in a sour rivalry for years because Ross believed 50 gave him a suspicious glance while performing. Since then, there has been a full-scale conflict in which both musicians have attacked one another in interviews and songs. 50 Cent too. He never passes up the opportunity to remind people that before he became a rapper, Rick Ross worked as a jail officer. 50 categorically referred to Rick Ross as a fraud in a 2015 interview with Tim Westwood, saying that he was merely posing like a mobster when in fact, he was anything but.
What about you and Rick Ross?
That is desperation at the points that you hear things from him at this point. Because if you're looking for someone, it ain't that hard to find me. I'm around. And I'm not used to having an altercation with law enforcement. I'm just not used to saying I'm going to do something to a correctional officer or to a police officer or anyone who's been under oath. That's going to say with no problem everything that you've said and everything that's happened immediately after, like, you know.
In another interview, 50 called Rick Ross irrelevant, saying he doesn't respect his career at all. As for Rick Ross, he also hates 50 and believes he's nothing but a big beau.
I took a picture with Rick Ross. You like a hoe. Put your back against the wall and just slide down. You already know, car show going down June 7th. Get online right now, get your tickets right now. But for the hustlers, I want y'all to understand you gotta stop making business personal. Get your money. You don't know these don't know you. And for anybody going against Ricky Rose, let me have this. I've been putting my foot up you since for the last 15 years. Everything you touch crumble. Why you think Rose on top? We don't take this.
The shocking thing is how Floyd Mayweather and 50 Cent went from being like brothers to becoming bitter rivals. It's easy to understand why Big Meech and 50 Cent are at odds. 50 goes all out when he has a beef. Thus, their fallout is among the ugliest feuds he has ever been in, and that says a lot. Floyd Mayweather and 50 Cent were inseparable in the past. To demonstrate how close they were, they went on trips together, went out to parties together, and even made an appearance on the cover of XXL magazine. However, everything collapsed in 2012 after Floyd was found guilty of domestic abuse and imprisoned for a few months. 50 Cent stepped in to try to keep Floyd's enterprise afloat while he was incarcerated. Floyd had urged him to assist in managing Mayweather Promotions and the Money Team, TMT, boxing promotion, but 50 soon discovered the companies weren't even legally registered. What was meant by that? 50 had to start from zero and rebuild everything. Cleaning up Floyd's financial disaster ultimately cost him more than $1 million. However, Floyd turned against 50 after being released from prison, refused to pay back his loan, and even accused 50 of attempting to take over his company while he was incarcerated. As the situation worsened, Floyd accused 50 of preachery and began a full-scale smear campaign against him. Like Rick Ross was planning for Big Meech, 50 Cent and his team were working on a campaign called Let's Get Floyd Back in Pocket, which was essentially a fundraising initiative.
Actually going in to jail, he asked me to help him with Mayweather Promotion.
Right.
Then as he actually got in and I took a look, I realized there is no Mayweather. There's no LLC, there's no seal, it's not incorporated. It's just the name. Yeah,
that comes up people's mouths.
Right. See, technically, Floyd is a Golden Boy fighter. You see what I'm saying? He fights on every Golden Boy card. They do all the footwork on
like
every
the negotiations and the imprint, the paperwork.
They build the whole show. So when he says helping with Mayweather Promotions and it's not there, I go, okay, I know what he means. He wants me to
get it together.
Put it together. So I do TMT Promotions. I get it all the way together. Sign the actual fighters. We had acquisition of Gamboa. It's like I had to negotiate a release. It was $1.2 million. Andre Durrell, IBF champion Billy Dib, WBA champion Celestino Calabero. So we brought them over. I brought him over while Floyd was incarcerated. Then he comes home. There's the Let's Get Floyd Back in Pocket campaign that goes on, where it's $300,000 chains being bought, buying new Lamborghini and all these new things, and I'm sitting there going, yo, when you gonna give me the money?
Because you'd already invested.
Right, like when you gonna give me your half of the money back. But I ain't trying to press him because he just got out of jail.
Right.
So it's like, let him cool his heels before he...
Was that in the millions?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you sitting there big, and I'm like, yo, so when... But see, the fighters are an asset in themselves. They are that talent, regardless. Right. So I'm looking at him going, so there ain't no pressure there, but I'm saying, when is he gonna say he wants, to give me the other half? Well, I gotta ask you for it.
Right.
And then when
are we talking over $2 million?
It's about that.
Oh, okay.
At that point, it was, that's it.
All right.
So look, he goes, when he finally does bring up the actual situation, he acted like he didn't know anything. Like, I didn't tell y'all to do that. I didn't tell you to do that. And I'm looking at him and he looking at my face and he telling me to do that.
Floyd Mayweather couldn't get away with distributing false information about 50 Cent because he doesn't play when it comes to loyalty. However, when 50 retaliated, things didn't go as planned. He ended up seeming like the bad guy, and Floyd took advantage of the circumstance to improve his own reputation. Floyd retaliated forcefully, attacking 50's career head-on and referring to him as a washed-up rapper who should stick to talking about boxing instead of music. Since they both openly declared to the media that they were on good terms once more, it initially appeared as though they had put an end to their feud. However, that tranquility was short-lived, as their friendship dissolved even more quickly than it had previously. Floyd began making fun of 50 Cent's private life, particularly the volatile connection he had with his son, Marcus Jackson. He took barbs at 50 wherever he could since he knew this was a delicate subject. However, 50 would not tolerate that. He revealed Floyd's troubled personal life in revenge, particularly his liaison with the girl of his best buddy. Their conflict was irreversible after that, and any chance of a reconciliation was wiped off.
I look at the computer say, Floyd said, yeah, Nelly 50. I'm like, what did he say me for? Nelly your first baby mama, Melissa, then took your fiance. Say that nigga.
50 Cent went to a dark and disturbing extreme at one point, claiming Floyd Mayweather was responsible for the untimely deaths of Earl Hayes and his wife, Stephanie Mosley. Tell everyone that you were on FaceTime when he did what he did to Jessica and himself because he was confronting you about messing with his wife, 50 said without holding words. Everyone was taken aback by this claim, which heightened the already acrimonious rivalry between Floyd and 50. However, 50 Cent delivered one of his most vicious attacks ever right when folks were beginning to lose patience. He openly challenged Floyd Mayweather to read a page from a Harry Potter book, promising to give Floyd $750,000 to any charity of his choosing if Floyd succeeds. This was one of 50's most popular moments, and people started making fun of Floyd's reading skills on social media right once. Floyd attempted to dismiss it without immediately answering, but the damage had already been done. Minus 50 had made their feud a global spectacle.
This is a special ASLELS challenge for you, Floyd. If you can read one full page of a Harry Potter book, nigga, I'll give $750,000 to whatever charitable organization you want to. The buck is alright.
Floyd Mayweather has no intention of giving 50 Cent the last word. He challenged 50 to enter the ring and settle their dispute the old-fashioned way in reaction to all the hate speech. Floyd responded in his own way, posting images of checks totaling over $72 million, without delving too deeply into the drama. This made it clear that he didn't have to descend to the level of the 1950s. In 2014, there were rumors that they were planning to fight, but naturally, that never happened. In 2018, Tiara Mary was in the midst of suing 50 for revenge porn when Floyd took another petty jab at her by asking her to appear at his nightclub. This was the last straw, destroying any remaining possibility of friendship between them. When Big Meech and Lil Meech began to hang out with Floyd Mayweather, 50 Cent felt betrayed, and now you can understand why. Floyd was 50's greatest adversary, and the Meech family's alliance with him only served to stoke the flames. Floyd sent an open letter, calling 50 Cent a snitch, making fun of his failed music career, and ridiculing his damaged connection with his kid as their animosity erupted on social media. Immediately in response, 50 shared a video of Lil Meech and Rick Ross teasing each other, making fun of Big Meech by claiming that Rick Ross had given him chicken wings from his fast food chain. He continued after that. Additionally, 50 Cent likened Lil Meech's acting abilities to those of Michael Rainey Jr., the star of his popular series Power Book Ghost, pointing out that Lil Meech had nothing to show for himself, but Michael had earned an NAACP award. In an edited video, 50 further insulted Lil Meech by saying that he attempted to show him the nice life, but that he was too determined to follow in his father's footsteps.
Something to think about the next time you're on stage waving signs, trying to be like the only daddy you got. I understand you want to keep his name alive, but youngin', I'm trying to save you from your demise. You said it yourself. My pops was a real... Youngin', that ain't no lie. He was in the business that the system perpetuates on the side to keep us in the condition where we ain't made to survive. But you think he a god? Well, let me ask you this. Would you kill a world and save yourself? Yeah, I ain't think that was wise. Something to think about the next time y'all thugging, drinking and drugging, hard liquor y'all full of killers. Remember, hold up, I tried to give you the large picture. Hold up, man. He gonna get this work. He gonna get this work. Hold up. Hold on. He gonna get this work. I tried to give him the large picture. Yo, Pops wasn't no gangster.
On the surface, it seems weird that 50 is going after Lil Meech, who had...
After Boozy criticized 50 Cent for involving Lil Meech in his spat with Big Meech, he ultimately made the decision to make amends. He was upset and disappointed since, he said, he had done more for Lil Meech than anybody else in his life. 50 claims that he was the first person Lil Meech called in times of crisis and always came through for him. Although Lil Meech had nothing to do with his father's alleged snitching, it initially looked strange that 50 was so angry about him. However, 50 lost all respect for Big Meech after he spotted Lil Meech laughing at a post about him. "Oh, he's a snake too," he added. He is a part of them. 50 further disclosed that although he gave Lil Meech financial advice and assisted him in getting into rehab, Lil Meech appeared uneasy with his intimate relationship with Mimi rather than appreciative. He informed Mimi that he didn't want Lil Meech using drugs, but Lil Meech pretended that it was cool and even boasted about using X, according to 50. 50 further said that Lil Meech ignored his advice to Mimi to quit wasting all of his money. Ian apparently notified 50 about Lil Meech's poor habits after Russell Hornsby reportedly puked while high during a weapons test on site. 50 became enraged when he discovered that Lil Meech had whippets in his pickup. Big Meech's worst error, according to Charleston White, was uploading a video of himself with Rick Ross and then releasing another video defending himself against accusations of snitching, which essentially added to the issue. 50 was furious and said, "If someone has done this much for your family, the least you can do is not publicly embarrass them by hanging out with their enemies and plastering the photos all over social media."
He was getting on camera with Rick Ross, running to the internet. Rick Ross was wrong for putting Big Meech out there knowing he doing bidding with 50. Rick Ross using Meech. Rick Ross using him, homie, knowing that there's a beef between me and this guy. So to do this video and then put it out there was a slap in the face to 50. And I done put everybody in position. Now, I'm with 50. While you were gone, Rick Ross didn't reach out to your son. Try to put him in his position where he can make $5 million. Did nobody reach out to you? Rick Ross didn't give you no money off using your name, your likeness or whatever in that song. He didn't give you no kickback for that. So, if he really f***ing with you, he could have put the concert on without putting you in the mix. But they playing tit for tat. So
50 Cent may have been prepared to put the Rick Ross incident behind him and carry on with the BNF series, but Lil Meech and Big Meech destroyed it all by becoming too close to Floyd Mayweather. Floyd is using the father and son as puppets in his long-running conflict with 50 Cent, even though he is fully aware of what is happening between 50 and Big Meech. Floyd's determination to exact revenge on 50 Cent is evident, and he is prepared to crush everyone who stands in his way, especially Charleston White. The true question now is whether Floyd is sincerely attempting to assist Big Meech and his son, or if he is only taking advantage of them to get under 50's skin. According to some accounts, Floyd is even quietly arranging for Charleston White to be arrested and returned to prison, which is crazy if it's true. What are your thoughts? Is Floyd genuinely going to defend Big Meech and his son, or is this simply another scheming attempt to undermine 50? Stay tuned for future developments and share your thoughts in the comments section.